To start small takes a leap of faith. Basically, you're not just imagining to achieve a goal, but you actually start to go up from your rotting bed, plan, prepare, and do your thing. As for me recently, I haven't painted for well over a few months, and I call myself a painter but now seldomly paints. Regardless, I didn't think negatively about it since I also have life outside art. And to balance everything feels overwhelming. I do still like art. I see it, admire it, and, well, to admire lots. Sometimes I think I'm just an art admirer. Doom scrolling on Instagram, heart all the paintings I see, and even on threads, everything is art that I cannot physically touch. Now I'm getting sidetracked again, so let's not do that. But this looming feeling growing from inside me is slowly haunting my existence. This month, however, is different. Something dawned on me. Something big. Something life-changing. Something. Nah, I'm just kidding. While I was eating my favorite fruit of the month, I said to myself, well, from now on, I'll do small art first. And I think taking the pressure to start something big gives you that push to continue consistently. But there are a few rules I set to myself this month. Number 1, I'll use these small sheets as canvas to start. And number 2, I will stick to the same color palette. And lastly, I'll try to paint at least 2 to 3 days per week. And I do mention to start small, so we're starting at less than A4. Now that I'm finished sharing to you my personal rants as an ex-dormant artist, since we're gonna rekindle our artistry, I'd like to share to you now my inner thoughts when creating these mini paintings. This one specifically was inspired by a painting I saw on Pinterest. I kept on saving artworks that resonated with me, and honestly, I don't know how it resonated with me. I'm just fond of understanding the human anatomy and trying to portray it on the canvas where it is more expressive than looking more scientific or well calculated. And honestly, I think that's hard, and it's also the reason why I like the challenge. I'm leaning towards more of abstract realism as of the moment and trying to train my eye to not see all the details all at once, but seeing it on a macro lens where they are all like shapes and blobs of, shadows and forms. And in the end, I really liked how this turned out. This was my first finished art of Feb, and I really enjoyed the process of just letting things be. We are gonna go out at 9:30 p.m. It's just the afternoon for me, so Alright, we made it to the second painting. Congrats to us. I think I deserve a cupcake for this. Very rarely it happens. Anyway, I really like how the first painting came out, so this time I wanted to use the same color palette and look for a proper reference photo so I can put my own style into it. What I mean by that is, as much as possible, even if I do have a photo or any inspiration to work with, I like to incorporate my personal interpretation of the subject and not copy it entirely. It frustrates me when I see myself going back to realism, being so tight and rigid of my strokes. And I think I'm already past that. I'm at the phase where I wanted to enjoy the process of creating rather than only being happy when the outcome is revealed. I don't know how this would turn out, honestly. And even that, instead of being anxious, now kind of excites me. I used to edit my reference photo on Photoshop, so I already have a grasp on how the entire artwork would look like in the end. But I realized it kind of kills off the spontaneity of doing the art. Like, even if I edited my photos, it feels I'm just copying it from another photo. So now I do it raw. I look for a portrait, work on it unedited, and just use my imagination to transfer it on a blank canvas. Now I get to experiment with colors more and being more creative with how I put the subject onto the canvas. In this painting, I further learned on how to play with the cool and the warm tones. You know, not everything should be saturated to make it less cartoony, but increasing saturation where blood flow could subtly be seen. Like, I intensify the reds on the nose and part of the arms and the fingers. That's also part of the sterilization process that I wanted to practice. And using yellow instead of pure white to use the highlight. And compared to the first painting where I entirely covered the canvas with paint, I wanted parts of the charcoal to still be there, so it's kind of half rendered in a way, and I also like this process. Sometimes when I feel like I don't have the energy to paint, I try to do activities that still channel my inner creativity in other forms. It may be simple journaling, cooking something even if it doesn't taste good, or even like this, putting a bouquet of flowers in a vase. Doing some small actions help me to relax. I just really want to do something with my hands than drowning myself with thoughts of what could have been. Thinking of potentials, will it work or will it not? Honestly, my brain is fried from all of the thinking. So yeah, this month I said, you know what, let's just do it. And I remember I heard from a video clip once, I think it was from Drew Barrymore, and they asked a florist, how do you keep the flowers from rotting? And the florist replied something along the lines of, flowers are not supposed to last. Their job is to help us stay in the present. They grow and they blossom and they thrive and then they are gone. You have to stay in the present. And that's what I'm trying to live as of the moment. So it's already in the end of the video and I'd like to give you an update about my progress last Feb. It's already March, first week of March. So I just want to show you the successful paintings, the unsuccessful one, and also the work in progress. So the first one is this one, my favorite out of all. And I got really inspired to do another one, which is also one of my favorites because I was able to use the reference photo and translate the colors that I wanted to from this painting. The last one is a failed one, but I'm still gonna show you otherwise because it's the reality of artists. A lot of things happened here that was not great. Basically the color palette, it's so muddy and mushy, and then even he looks like a Slender Man, that's all. I don't like that. But anyway, I continued and I switched to studying just like the woman anatomy. I just really tried to study the composition and also the proportions of the female body and also working with the values. I think it was the first time that I was using charcoal powder at this point and I really like it. And then the last one is a work in progress that I'm hoping to finish this March. And I also recorded the progress of this one. I think it's gonna be a long one, but this is it so far. And there's so many things to still work here, but I really like how this turned out and I can refine these ones better at the end of the painting. So hopefully I can release a video about it. And it's also a learning for me to paint two faces. And that's it. I'm hoping that you enjoyed the video and I really like my progress this Feb. Hopefully it continues this March. Let's see. And like I always say, to art within us.